Oh, we are so late. We are so late.
We are so late. And I haven't had my tea yet. Have you had your tea yet?
No,
No.
we've been on constant calls.
Yeah.
We haven't stopped being live.
And I didn't even have time for a kip.
Not asleep. You've not even had a sleep.
I normally, when I come in and I've trimmed the amount of horses that I've trimmed. Hi,
Hello,
Megan.
Megan. Is this a new Megan? Have we had you before, Megan Triggs?
I recognise Megan's name, but I'm not sure that she's been on a Phoenix live before.
Ooh, welcome. Hi, Bonnie. Is it lunch? What are you having today? What did we had yesterday? We had turkey, bacon, avocado, and what's the other thing? Can't remember, but it sounded lovely. Although I'm a veggie, practicing veggie vegan. Sarah's here. Hello, Sarah. Good to see you.
Hiya.
Looking forward to our call tomorrow. Trimming. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. Sandra's here. Sandra from Czech is here. She is. Hello, Sandra. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Facebook user. Hello. Charlotte. Hello, everybody. Hello, lovely people. Oh, another hi. Lydia's here. Hello, Lydia. Hello, everyone. I'm just, here it comes. I know, I just briefly looked at Bonnie. Hello, Grace. Good to see you, darling. Here it comes. McDonald's, but I ordered wheat belly this morning.
I'll give you a free tip, Bonnie. The two ain't going to go together.
Oh, dear me. You wait till you read that. You'll be like, what has Lindsay done to me? We've got one of our lovely students, Dave, who was going through the course, and he got to one particular point in the course where I was talking about lactose, and after that he went, oh my god, I said, I'm off milk completely. I'm just never gonna. When you start to learn things, you're like, I'm never doing that again. If man made it, don't eat it. Megan says, I often have to watch after the live, but tonight the children are in bed in time. Woo! Bedtime for the kids. Now it's mummy's time. Mummy. Hello, Monica. Hello, good to see you.
Hiya.
Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Oh, it's Toya. Toya's back. Hello. And yes, Dom is on.
Dom's must be cooking.
How are the sweets coming on? Have you organised my vegan fudge yet, and all those lovely things that are going to be turning up? I can't wait. Looking forward to that. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Another Facebook user. Hi. Getting it in while I can. Oh yeah. And then you'll be sneaking it in. Can I just have a little biscuit? I still have it now and again. I do. Hi, Nova. Good to see you. I gather Kathy and you have been in touch. A date has been made, and you are going to have your first visit from an HMB Pro. That isn't me. You're going to have your first visit. It's very exciting. New Zealand, clocking in. Hi there, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, everyone, says Vanya. Did you hear about that somebody said to you that somebody down in Toulouse, Vanya, did you know, Vanya? Just saying, it's coming up. You've only got 4 weeks, and then you're going to be out there doing your thing. Just saying. Hi, says Libby. Hello,
Hi,
Libby. Just been watching your lessons for the past hour. You poor thing. What's wrong with you? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to put yourself through it? Hi, Karen. Oh, look at the avatar.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I love that. Well done. Oh, God, we're going to make a lot of people very sick on Facebook. It's one of them again. It's one of those Phoenix Warriors. You're damn right it is. Here we are. Hi, it's Deb from Shropshire. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Dawn's here. Hi, both from me, and my Neddie's here in Wales. Hello, Dawn. You have been with us before, haven't you, Dawn? I'm sure you have. I think I remember your avatar, your beautiful horse. Yes, says Sandra, very soon. It will be very weird to be back in the UK. It's been nearly a year since I moved back to Czech. God,
is it already?
Time fly. Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Blimey. You've done a winter in Czech. Brave. Toya says yes, and I said to Dom he has to do the logo in Rockford Camp.
Oh my God! Don't put too much pressure on him.
Wow, that's
But
very
it would be amazing.
very, very clever. Is that what I have to say about that? Hi, Maggie. Good to see you.
Hi, Maggie.
Jenny says, Eek, excited about my Phoenix Hero t-shirt. It arrived yesterday. Thank you. You're very welcome. It looked great. I saw it across your steering wheel. I
Yeah, I saw it too.
I shared it with Gary. So he saw
saw
it
it too.
too. Yes, I'm seeing her ponies on Sunday. Go, Vanya.
Awesome. Well done, Vanya.
Ooh, that's exciting, isn't it? Who knew? Wherever there's an HMB Pro, there's always somebody wanting somebody to come along and help with their ponies. Dawn, hi. I finished the 15-day challenge last night. Brilliant. Brilliant. Did you enjoy it? I made a proper noise that time. Did you enjoy it? Let me know if you enjoyed it. Alison says, hi, made it. Hi, Alison. Good to see you here. Good to see you. Saw some from the group's ponies today. Been trimming a lot this last week. My back isn't impressed. It's all about stamina. It's all about
stamina, Grace.
Building up that stamina, building up that fitness. Good girl. Well done.
Grace, considering I spend over 50% of my time sat on my backside helping you lovely students and people in the Phoenix group, I trimmed 15 horses today. My back's a little bit buggered too.
15 horses. I'm going to just do it very quick chop up because I'm doing it in my head. Look at this incredible mathematics. That's 60 feet. 60 hooves.
I've got a picture of one of the feet. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, bring it on. You get that ready. Dawn says, yes, sure, I have. I sure have. And you have been so helpful with much advice through a personal message. Now it's coming back to me now. Ooh. Explain what you're seeing here, boy.
Wow, that's a pretty nice pony foot, isn't it?
It is. It is.
There's a little bit of sole to come off here, but it was negligible.
Have you made your cursor go bright green?
Because I'm clever. Do you like that?
That's very clever. Is there a little bit of pink in the sole? I can see a little bit of pink.
There's a little bit. And he's
critique Gary's trim now. Here we go.
He's got a little bit, a few little ripples in the hoof wall. But when I picked up his foot and I trimmed it, I said because we see so much on the Phoenix group where there are so many people needing help, I thought this would be a little bit inspirational.
Look at that. Look at that.
Because
even
this is a nice
of the hoof wall all the way around.
The nice thickness all the way around. You can see it. And this pony's only, he's smaller than Darcy, so he's only about 10 hands. Moses, his name is. He's a lovely little chap. And he's got a little rider as well.
Oh, bless him. So what do you think? What do we think the pinking is? What do you think that might be?
Well, maybe a little bit inflammation. He's on a track. He gets fed either haylage or wetted hay because he has a breathing problem. So he is a little bit compromised in his body elsewhere, but I just thought that this was a nice picture to show people that when you actually have things quite right, this is how your feet can look. Yeah,
that's the way it needs to be. No thrush in the back there, bars down to the hard sole plane.
And also it was
they're not going to be perfect, you know, and they don't have to look perfect. So some of them have a little bit of a ring in there, you know, you can see those rings in his bars, might be a little bit of pink, but in general, no major separation, no major holes in that white line, no cracks, just a good solid foot. That is very, very useful to him.
And also, I thought as well, when I picked up the foot, it was something that you said the other day about sometimes things that other hoof care professionals follow, like being at the widest part of the frog, where the heel's got to be. That would be over trimmed for this horse.
Absolutely.
So you can see that I am definitely down to the hard sole plane. But if that was to be at the widest part of the frog on this particular hoof, this horse would be sore, or this pony would be sore. And I thought that would be just a nice little lesson to highlight, because it's not a constant that Mother Nature works to. And that's why.
That's why. Brilliant. Marvellous. Thank you, Gary. Kathy is coming to Tirry next month to trim. I know. A little bird has already told me. There's very few things that I don't know about Sarah. I know.
She never tells me.
You're always out working. Well, you have been doing this one. David. Oh, David.
David.
It's actually
hi, Julia.
Name. Got his own name.
Julie. It's Julie. It's not Julia.
Julie. Hi from David. Julie's in Fort William converting more horse owners to the Phoenix way, so you'll have to do with me tonight. Fort William, I've been over there. Yes, all sorted for the 17th of May. Exciting times. It is brilliant. And that I just love it. Like I said to you, Nova, once upon a time, it was just little old me. Then it was Gary and Caroline and a few of the others. And we just did the Southwest. And now look at us, right? And now we can say to people, when you're all the way up in Scotland, do you have somebody that could be close to me? And I look at the map and go, as it happens, yes. We will have 52 or 3 students. By the July intake, we'll have 53 HMB Pro students, and we've got 14 who will be actually graduating. So it'll go up briefly and then go down, because we've got 14 that are going to be graduating.
But the pros will go up and the students will go down slightly until the next intake, and then it will go back up again.
And just dropping a hint, next intake is in October, guys. So if you're thinking about it, Alison Franks, did I say that out loud? If you're thinking about it, then October's your time. Don't let it pass. Time's ticking. I've done your logo in soap. It was really hard. Good luck, Tom. Yes, love the 15-day awesome. Oh, God.
In soap? That's awesome.
It is. It's amazing. Only 3 today. How the hell? You'll get
Hello, get there, Grace. You'll get there.
Hello, Lynn. Seeing you tomorrow night. Looking forward to
seeing you tomorrow.
Vivian Patterson's here. Hello, Vivian. Not seen you for a while. Hi from California. Jeanette's here. Hi, everyone. Bonsoir. So here we are. What we're going to talk about tonight. We aren't going to stay on for that long tonight, because we are late. And the reason we're late is because we've just not done anything else but talk online. Zoom must be just like this. God, do those people ever get off?
Do we ever shut up?
Do they ever shut up? They're always talking to people online. So yeah, we won't stay too long tonight. And I have to confess, I have not hardly looked once in the Phoenix group today. Really, I haven't. I've been so busy today. I haven't had a chance to go in. So I'm just, as we're speaking now, I'm just like going and having a quick gander, because I wanted to see. Gary.
What?
5.4 thousand members.
Oh my God! It's gone up again.
It's gone up again. 5.4
Goodness
thousand.
me.
And every single one we look at, every single one we check to see if they've answered those questions, so we know who's going in. Every single one has to accept the group rules. 5.4 thousand. Gosh, that's really starting to. I mean, it's going to be another 1,000 practically in another 10 days. Gemma, Hello,
Hi,
Gemma. Don't think we've
Welcome
seen
to the
you
group.
Don't think we've seen you before on a live. Hello, Gemma Rolando. I'm new to the barefoot world. I'm wanting to take my horse barefoot, but my farrier is telling me to wait until autumn. What's your view on this? Go barefoot.
Go barefoot.
Don't wait. Every single season, you could come up with a reason not to.
Yeah.
You could come up with a reason not to. So summer, what? The ground gets hard. You know, autumn, well, we're going into winter now. Still got the grounds could be a bit hard. Winter, it's a bit soft now. Maybe it's not right. Spring, there's a bit of grass around. I don't know. Just do it. He might not want you to go barefoot in the summer because it's not so easy to trim, because the feet can be, well, I'm assuming that actually, but I don't know where you are in the world. So I don't know where this is, where we are. Well, I'm assuming you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah. Anytime. There is never a time. If somebody wants to go barefoot, my best advice is do it ASAP. The longer those shoes stay on, the longer you're potentially causing harm. And we could talk about that this evening if you like. But yeah, so off they come, off with the shoes. Let's get cracking. Oh, hopefully not cracking, but let's get on with it. Can you talk about the true tip of the frog, please? Certainly can. So the true tip of the frog. The true tip of the frog. Lindsay's going to look for a picture. She's going to look for a picture. You do the comments. I'll go and have a look for a picture.
Oh, where did we get to? Oh, it was Gemma, wasn't it? Tip of the frog. Facebook user has said, oh, now I can't see it. Oh, there we go. I've noticed a lot of farriers have joined. Is it to learn or to ridicule? Well,
they won't get far.
We hope it's to learn. Of course we do. But if it's to ridicule, they won't be here for very long because we don't allow it. It's our group, and everyone is welcome as long as they stick to the group rules. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Okay. Does everyone want to see some scary looking, crazy looking feet? Some of you will have seen them before, but I can show you about the true tip of the frog then. Do you want to see some crazy looking feet? Poor pony. It wasn't alive. Has everybody got the stomach for cadaver hooves tonight? You got the stomach for it?
I haven't eaten yet, have you?
No, not eaten yet.
Not even
all right,
yet.
then.
We're all right then.
Yeah, says Jeanette. All right, let's do it. Okay, so let's take a good look at this one then. This is one of Gary's trims on I think this was at the training camp last year. There you go.
I have no idea what images you're going to put up.
It's exciting, isn't it? Nobody knows. Even I don't know what images I'm going to put up.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Right, so now here we are. We're presented with a foot like this. What Karen says, I'm just eating my dinner.
Enjoy your. What about Bonnie with her McDonald's?
Oh yeah, she'll have eaten it by now. But McDonald's never lasts longer than literally 5 minutes, does it? It's down the hatch with a McDonald's. It's like definitely down the hatch. Hi, Vivian, you're not late. Gemma says, just what I needed to hear. I've been following advice on this group and already seen amazing changes. Everyone has been so kind and motivating. Yes, do it. Okay, so what have we got here then? Anne's here. Hello, Anne Blake. Hello. We have had you, haven't we? I know we have had you on a live. I'm sure we have. I'm getting a bit confused now because I know that I see people coming through on the challenges, and then I see you coming through on the live, and then I see you coming through on the page. I'm like, have you been on a live? I don't remember. Jeanette says, oh, that looks like the mini's foot a lady put up in the group today. Does it? I haven't seen that. Hi from Stratford. I haven't seen that. Okay. Well, this is a very compromised foot, and it doesn't belong to an animal anymore, sadly. You can see there you have an enormous back of the foot. So not only have you got a lot of compaction, but the frog and the heel bulbs have just literally gone, and they've grown all the way down. It didn't have that split down the middle. That's because we cut it in half. So yes, it's overgrown. Does it? Oh my goodness. I have to go back and have a look at that in a minute. Yes, a lady called Telia put up a post of the foot looking similar. Okay. Well, maybe Telia would like to watch this, because we're going to show you something now. So the question was, how do you find the true tip of the frog, or where is it? Because it is an important landmark, but it's not going to stop us. Thank you, darling. That was the arm of Asher. It's not going to stop us from finding things like the hard sole plane. But the problem with a foot like this is, you look at it and you go, oh, you're not going to be able to get everything done in one trim. Yeah, you are, one trim, but not one round of the foot. So you get a bit done and then you go again at the same time. But normally we can clear the deck and then we can get the foot down. But with the trim like this, you kind of have to work your way in. It's like exploring the jungle. You have to go, oh my God, there's a foot in there somewhere. So let's see what else we got, what we can show you. There you go. That's what it looks like from the side. That's what it looks like from the side. Yes, it's a lady from the USA. So that is crazy high heels, right? And that frog and that heel bulb had grown all the way down to here, but it was pretty useless having it, because this poor little pony, who's meant to have a foot that has a big surface area here, right? A big surface area here. It's walking on this tiny little bit. So this is almost definitely neglect, really. This is, well, I say that. I have seen hooves like this that are being trimmed, but this is more likely to be neglect, right? That's just another picture of it on the bin. This is another. We had all 4 feet of this pony. So this was the front foot, and that was a hind foot, I believe. I think, wasn't it, Gary?
Yeah, looks like it.
Sorry about the bits of blood. I do apologize. So what we got here, let's just take an assessment of this foot. Well, first of all, we can see it's got lots of lines. And some of the lines are bigger than others. So we know that there have been times through the last while, because obviously this is bigger than a foot that would normally be. So for quite a period of time, this horse has been struggling with diet, it's been struggling with management. And of course, it hasn't had the right trim. So where do we suppose P3 is in there? Where do we suppose P3 is hanging out in there? It ain't going to be down here, is it? It's and you know, all those people that say with the laminitis, the P3 will sink right through the capsule. Well, we'll see in a minute whether it's sunk through the capsule, shall we? Because one of the problems I have with those theories of rotation and sinking, which of course we've proved not to be true, is that why does it happen to some then and not all of them? Why can you try and give a horse oligofructose and it doesn't? None of that happens, because it isn't about that. It's about the trim in many cases. It looks like somebody's had a little bit of a fiddle here on the top, but can you see it's starting to crack at the quarters? It's desperately trying to find its true foot in there. It's desperately trying to give itself some relief at the quarters. Imagine being this pony walking around with this. Can you see it cracking here? It's just a shocking state to be in. And the sad thing is, had we taken this pony, we could have had it brought back to reasonably good looking feet in a very, short period of time. So it's very, very overgrown. You can see that. Oh, hello. You can see it's very, very overgrown. The bars are overgrown. But have we got to the true tip of the frog? Well, probably not yet, because the whole foot is way longer than it should be. And we've got to go through that jungle and see if we can find our way back. So we can already see the landmarks that we know. We can see the bars. We can see the walls. We can see that these walls are all going to need to be trimmed, and the bars are going to be trimmed, and we're going to need to get into that sole, and that'll be chalky in there. So we need to look at all of these things when we're going to trim. And this is the back of the foot again. And you can see how the frog grows. Each time it's putting on another layer, look. So this is all overgrown frog. So this is all going to start to come off. And look at this contraction at the very, very back of the foot, because this isn't being used like it should be. And it's got this tiny little bit of surface area that it's walking on down here. Okay. There's Gary. I don't think that's a video. Trimming away. Enjoy. And there's a video actually of him doing this trim, and all the students are stood around him. And I did this big pan all the way around looking at him. They were like that. Oh my God, this is so fascinating. I mean, it's sad, isn't it? It's so sad. And we never forget the fact that it's sad. We never forget that. We never ever go, we respect these legs. We really, really do, because they're teaching us stuff. There they are. Look, there's some of them. Oh, wait a minute. This is the pan.
I don't look up.
They don't look up once. Yeah, that was us in our training camp last year. Okay, so that's an interim, pretty much. That's where we got to in one trim. So we're comparing that now with the other foot of its pair, and you can see where we've got to on that already, or where Gary's got to, and where there when he'd finished his trim. That's where he was. Look at the look on my face. I'm like, ew.
It's because you haven't got gloves on.
I think it was. So that's where we got that foot. Now, this is really good because we're going to look at the inside in a minute, because we've put P3 in a better position. This isn't obviously not the foot that the horse is going to end up with, but it's going to grow out that wedge. We need to go and have a look at the state of P3 inside. But can you see if people would have thought that P3 had sunk in the capsule? Gary would have chopped right through that by now, wouldn't he? He'd have gone right through P3 had it sunk all the way down in the capsule. Because what's going to stop it? If it's going to sink, it's going to sink right through that, isn't it? It's not going to just stop there. And then we're going to allow this foot to grow out, that lamella wedge to grow out. But I can guarantee to you that with this, can you see how do I make it go green? I want to know how to make it go green. It's not fair. With this is what this pony was walking on, this tiny bit of surface area. And now this is what the pony's walking on. And oh, he's gone. He's back. Now, and yet people would come along and go, you've got to take that toe off in fear of tearing the lamina. Well, it's been like this for yonks. And now we've got it like this. It's not going to tear the lamina. But if you chop that off, you're going to shorten that surface area again and reduce that surface area again. And that's not a good thing, is it? That's going to cause more problems. That horse wants as much foot as it possibly can. Yeah, that's just another image. That's just another. And then we would go back to, you're laughing there, look at you. That's just another image. And what we would do is go back to this pony probably every 3 to 4 weeks. We'd allow it to settle, its foot to settle, it to get used to its new feet. And I guarantee to you that within a very short period of time, he'd be going nuts out there going, yes. And you know, everybody who says you can't lower heels that much, that quickly, poppycock. Because what I'm telling you now is that there are more, oh, you can't do that because of strain on the tendons. Do you reckon that the extensor tendon and the DDFT and all the ligaments that are in there are having fun in that foot on the right? No. You need to get that foot fast into the position that it needs to be. I've lost my cursor. There it is. Okay, so now we're going to see inside. So we need to, so you can see, I mean, you know, let's just see if we can bring this bigger. So we've had a little bit of remodeling here by the shape of P3, but not an awful lot, right? Not a massive amount. There is some lamella wedge here, this confused tissue, but this would be easy to grow out, because if you look here, this is still doing its job. This is the dermal and the epidermal laminae, and it's still doing its job, but a lot of confused, horny material has been placed here. And this would grow out lickety-spick. This is where the coronary band is, or the coronary band's up here, and the coronary groove is in here, and you can just see it goes down to this point here and then heads off down here. That's the shoulder of the coronary groove there. Here's your terminal arch. So we know by looking at the terminal arch how much foot we've got underneath here now. Here we've got I'm just going to give you a quick anatomy lesson. Are you cool with this? Here we've got the navicular bone. This little jigger here. Boop, 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 boop. Do you know what this is? What this thing is here that's connecting this to this, connecting the navicular bone to the P3. It's in remarkably good condition inside here, considering it's been up on its tips for so long. Do you know what this ligament is here? Oh, I gave a bit of it away then. Do you know what that is there? What's that there? What is that ligament? Yes, Natalie Day. Correct. Well done. It is the impar ligament. And Jenny is right. The navicular bone is a spacer. Now, for those of you, yes, Angela Moore, brilliant. For those of you, Vivianne's on it. She's on it. Everybody's Googling. I'm joking. DDFT. So the DDFT is this one here, right? Oop. Let's just go back. It's this one here. It runs through here and it connects to this part of P3 underneath. And this is called the navicular bursa. And this part of the DDFT is like having a bit of cartilage on the tendon, because this, and there's fluid in there, because this needs to run smoothly over the flexor surface of the navicular bone. And it's this area here that starts to get damaged when the horse gets navicular syndrome. But remember those people, remember those of you that were in that lesson that I did a little while ago, where I talked to you about navicular. Can you see, right? Here's the DDFT here. It's this big tendon here, and it runs down and it changes direction. Boom. And it goes there. Do you see? And because this spacer is in the way, when P2 articulates, which it does here, that's why it's shaped in this position, and it articulates and it comes back. So that part goes forward as this part goes back, and it pushes down onto this navicular bone, which pushes down slightly here. And you've got this big digital cushion underneath. the DDFT shouldn't be changing direction. That's why it's inserted in a very particular angle. But if you have the horse up on a Coke can, then it's not going to be in the right position. If you have a horse that's walking around putting heel first or toe first, you can see how this bone will not be in zero acceleration when he puts his foot down, because if he goes heel first, this joint moves to get into that flat position. Mother Nature's not that daft. Mother Nature didn't do that. She didn't go, you know what? You're the only four-legged animal other than the elephant and a bit of the bear that's going to walk heel first. There's absolutely no way. And that's the reason why, because this is inserted in a very particular way. So is there more to do here? Oh yeah, you're damn right. So there's more heel. You see how much frog we've still got here, but way, way, way less than we had. We're in a much better position here, but in the next few trims, you can see how thick this sole is still, but Gary took a load away, and in the next few trims, we're then going to be able to get these heels down for this pony, and this will start to grow out, and this is celebrate this, because this is giving this pony support. Imagine if we came along and we just went boop, boop, nippered that off. Now it's flat at the moment, but he's going to gradually find his quarters and find his concavity. But if we nippered that off, where would his pillar of support be then? Right here. Right there. Okay. And the same this side. You can see the same this side. All right. Let's see what else we got in this little so these are the big ones. So this is the one that hasn't been trimmed. So now you can see P3. Again, it's remarkable that there was not more osteonecrosis with this pony. And part of that was just because it had all of this material down below it. But you can see it's pointing down like an arrow. So it would have been lame. Very lame. Digital cushion is non-existent. You've got an annular ligament in here as well that's holding everything in. I like to think of those annular ligaments as like cups holding the 3 annular ligaments down the distal limb, lower limb. This is P2, this is P3, and this is a little bit of P1. But you can see it's not sunk all the way down. Still got the coronary groove here. We've got the extensor process there, and the extensor tendon is connected just here. But look at that, right? Now we're talking about the true tip of the frog. Well, how on earth are we going to find that here? And if we go back to this picture here, you know that we've told you that the true tip of the frog is about 1 centimeter behind the tip of P3. So it will be around about here somewhere. Okay. And that is a constant. That's a constant. Yeah, it's just another picture of it in his stiletto here. How many people have got shoes like that with wedges? How many people have got shoes like that with wedges? There's tiny little toe digit in there with this massive wedge all around. Oh, going that way. Maybe I feel a bit sick then. Now you can see a difference. You can see a difference already in the position of P3. These are facing down. These are pointing down, and this is in a better position. Is it in the right position? No, not yet, because we've got to find our way through that jungle. We're hacking down there. We've got to get in there somehow. And this is where we start. But we're already in a better position. So this is what it looked like from the front. And that's what it looked like from the side. Now, isn't that a hell of a lot different to what it was like before? You can see the coronary band now. It's got a nice little angle to it. It's even got a tiny little bit of an arch coming on there, a little bit. Lydia says, wow, I would have thought that P3 would have had more damage. Nope. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Fantastic trim, says Karen. Impressive trimming. Impressive trimming, says Alison Franks. This is what happens, Alison, when you train to be an HMB pro. Just putting it out there. Know what I mean?
Poor Alison.
So, and I still haven't, oh God, I'm so sorry. I've just remembered I still have not sent that assessment back of that left hind. I think it was the left hind. I promise I will. Now, who was it that asked about it? It was Susan Garvin, I think. Now you're starting to see where the true tip of the frog is. Now, of course, we have had to trim this frog. Of course we have. Now you can, there's few things I want to point out. So now we've got to the true tip of the frog, right? P3 is located about here, and you've not quite got the true edge of the sole yet. That will come. That will actually be back here. You can sort of see its little ridge. This is still lamella wedge that's underneath this part here. Now, why has it got red spots? It's got red spots because that was being bruised way back in the dermis. But you know, because we've shown you the inside, that is nowhere near the dermis. Yet we see people stop trimming when they see these red spots because they think that they're just about to hit blood. Now, you might be, but if you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking at, you're not. You can see this little red spot here. Sometimes they actually have pockets of blood in them. And here, look, you'd be forgiven for thinking, wouldn't you, that you were right down to the dermis, but you're not. This is just where it's all been damaged. But look, the bars are down. We've got it down to where we need it to be. This is all confused tissue, lamella wedge. This is where, that's all we had to play with. So there was no toe wall on the ground just yet, but it's coming. It's on its way. It's on its way. That's another image. I think we've got two next to each other in a minute. So this is an image next with each other. So the frog had put out all of these layers, and its true tip was just here. Look, you see that little tiny black bit that's just there? That was its true tip of its frog. But you couldn't tell that from looking inside because everything had migrated forward. You see, all of this is confused material, but you can see the hoof wall is in pretty good shape. You can see that waterline there. You can see that outer hoof wall. All of that is in pretty good shape. We've still got a fair bit of cartilage going on here. We can't see what's been going on with in terms of the lateral cartilages on these images, and we can't because we've chopped them at the foot in half. And we can't see if there is any arthritis on the front of these bones, but other than that, it's looking pretty clean in there. Oh, hello, come back. Have I got to no, I haven't. I know I've not got to the end. And there's the other side of it. So these are complex trims, and they take a bit of time. It's a bit of busy work. But can you see how, when you see the trim, how easy it would be to compromise the depth? Now, we don't want to compromise the depth of P3, particularly here, do we? We certainly don't want to do that yet. We've got to get this foot down, and it's in a very confused position. It's so high heeled. It's got all of this going on, and yet we need to be careful that we don't hack into it so that we cause problems here, the tip of P3, because you could easily just chop all of this off and get too close to P3 here. Oop. So that's a front and a back foot. It's not trimmed yet, but it's just a front and a back foot for you. This is Gary's trim again. And do you see he's not compromised that depth at all? What he's done is he's been able to remove the majority of what's here. Now this horse, when it walks around, is going to start engaging this back of the foot and all these blood vessels in the back of the foot and all this venous return is going to start engaging the back of the foot. We're not bothered about what's going on here at the front. It's not going to start tearing this lamina here. Of course, it's not solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. Who sang
Oh
that?
God, she's off singing again.
So, who sang that? Who sang Solid as a Rock?
I'll find
Tell
out.
me, please. So P3 is still compromised, but it's in a far better position than it was. We've got sole depth. We'd come back and the horse would exfoliate a lot of this sole when we'd leave it to do it. And the frog suddenly is being engaged and the frog will just start peeling off. It just starts going, right, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be here. Remove yourself. And these are the two compared to each other next to each other. So you can see how he's not just cut it straight across. You can see there's a definite angle change. This is very pointed down like an arrow. And this looks like it is, but it isn't. You can see that this is now going off in this direction more. So this pony would have been a lot happier after this trim. Yeah. All interesting stuff. But we mustn't. And a lot of people, when they trim overgrown feet like this, they want to make it look all spanky and normal and good look at the trim. No, it's important that you preserve areas underneath. You can see here, look, he's preserved all of that. And part of that was because he knew where the hard sole plane was and he was looking for that true tip of the frog, because he knew when he got to that true tip of the frog, what the depth was going to be there. Okay, look at that. That's an interesting photo, isn't it? Wow. Look at the surface area. Look at this to here. Whoa, that pony would be so happy compared to that. Do you remember I was talking to you about wobble? Wobble is a thing. Wobble is a problem. And wobble causes joints to wobble. It causes the foot to try and stabilize itself. How much more wobble do you think there is in this foot compared to this foot? What's the wobble factor? Which one has got the pogo stick? The one on the right. Ashford and Simpson solid. What's that?
Solid as a rock.
Oh, it's Ashford. Ashford and Simpson, yeah, it is. Solid as a rock. Now, this is an interesting shot. Because this is a little pony foot, and we reckon if you look at P3, look at P3, boopity boopity boop, P3, there's not a massive amount of difference here in the size of P3. So in truth, this foot should really look more like this little foot here. It is a bit bigger, obviously, because you can see that there is more width across, but it's not vastly different. Okay, it would be more similar. It's going to be more on going towards this foot than all the way up here. Oh, I think that's you, Grace. I think that's Grace. That's Grace.
It is.
I can see Grace, blurred Grace in the background with her pigtails. Hello, Grace. Yeah, and there is a little pony foot with no laminitis, doing its thing. Pretty good. We don't know why this poor little thing lost his life, but all was well. Okay. Don't think we've got... Oh, yeah, we drew lines on it. So that just goes to show you, and just that small change in the angle of P3 means all the difference. Oh, that's the little pony one anyway. Yeah. So you can see where the pony is here, the little one, and where this is here, and how that affects the horse. Crazy stuff, right? Oh, I'm making myself dizzy. Right, now that's a good shot because that's a before and after. So you can see the true tip of the frog is back here. It's not that different, but it was sort of displaying itself as being down here a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look how much has been taken off. Can you see it was showing itself as being here, but it was actually back here. And all that red bruising inside, that's the heel. This is what an underrun heel looks like. There's the heel. And that's where it should be. Look at the difference. Doo-doo-doo-doop. This bit of surface area compared to all of this. Oop, and there's our lovely students. There's Grace. Let's replay it. We gave them a task to check balance. Look at them. They're all having a conversation about balance here. And we had 2 groups and they were pitted against each other. There's Kate. You see Kate living in Shetland. There's Becky. You see her, the Becky. You see her popping up now and again with the sunglasses on. Right, there you go. I wasn't planning on doing a lesson like this evening, but we never know where it's going to take us, do we? Did you enjoy that?
That was good.
Gosh, isn't it satisfying getting all that off? It certainly is.
Oh,
gutted.
yes.
I've missed most of this. We'll need to catch up. Don't be gutted.
You will.
It's all recorded. How terribly sad to think that you could have saved this pony. I know, but you can already appreciate, can't you? We are seasoned experts. We've been out there and done a lot of this sort of stuff. And even we pick up a foot like that and go, here we go. Let's get into that jungle. Here we go. What's it going to show us? It's always, ooh. And then we get down and we go, wow. And how did we trim like that? How did Gary know how to come down and where to go and not to take too much sole and where to put the heels? And how did he do that? By trimming to Mother Nature's constants. Mother Nature's blueprint. She's got it there. You just have to look for it. Is P2 lifting out of the socket from that angle? It's just because there's no leg above. It just looks like the and also there's a nice synovial fluid in there. It hasn't got its other half. That's why it just looks a bit funny. It isn't. It's just because the rest of the leg isn't there. Alison says, such an awesome lesson on how hard the hoof tries to cope and how with the right knowledge and so trim, the mind-blowing difference that can be made, but also how very easy it could be to mess it up totally. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
In fact, not long before we went on our training camp, another hoof school had posted on Facebook a similar foot. And they had trimmed it their way and they'd removed masses of toe. And I said to Gary, I wonder what thickness we've now got under P3, because they didn't cut it in half and have a look. And they would have then compromised P3 by putting P3, because it's terrified of it looking long. So if we'd have put both of those, because they were very similar, if we put Gary's trim next to this other hoof school's trim, this one would have looked, to the eye, would have looked kind of neater, prettier. Oh, you went from all of this down to this. But when you look inside, this one's got a lovely, Gary's would have this really lovely big surface area, very, very protected P3, whereas this one has a shorter surface area and doesn't have a protected P3. And the moment you take that hoof wall off, you got to wait a long time for it to get down on the ground. And that's the problem when we're rehabbing a lot of these horses that have had their toes chopped off and P3 is compromised. We have to try and protect it for as long as we can in hoof boots, because we know, and we keep the heels back so that P3 is not like that now. It's like that, but there's still pressure there, right? All because we're trying to undo what others have done. So interesting. Like comparing high heel shoes to running shoes. Yes, it is. Can you take off all that heel? Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. you can,
because too much is going on at the back of the foot. A lot of people would say, "Oh, it's got to come down gradually." I'm sorry, the pedal bone is in a dire situation. The soft tissue can cope at the back of the foot. The soft tissue can cope. And don't forget, you've got a sentient being on the back that lives with this foot. So they know what their limits are too. And I have to say, when we end up doing this on live horses, it's all, you can almost see the relief in their faces, their expression, their movement. Yes, it's going to be different. Of course it is. And when you ended up being up like that on those horrible little tiny things, the whole body has got to change when it comes back down. So it's not just the soft tissues, it's the muscles and all of that. So yes, it feels different, but it is a big step in the right direction.
If you don't get those heels down to where they need to be ASAP, not only are you compromising more of P3, and that you can't replace that. Tissue can repair. You can't replace P3. It's a goner when it's gone. But not only that, but it's the whole rest of the body, right? That is able to suddenly start to get itself back in. And if you don't, you're chasing those heels then because you haven't taken down enough. And you wait 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, those heels are growing again. What's happening to P3? So you're like, oh, I'll take a bit more down. Literally 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 3 steps forwards, 2 steps, whatever. 2 steps forward, 2 steps forward, 1 step. All the time you're doing that. Instead, if you get in there and you take down as much as you can, you've got a fighting chance to get on top of all of that. Because remember, the growth rates are being disturbed between the heel and the toe. Oh, I see it all the time when people talk about those diverging rings. And every time they talk about it, the toe's been chopped off and the diverging rings are diverging because it's got laminitis and the heels are growing really fast. And you're like, no, it's because you chopped the toe off. It's just such basic stuff. It's biology. Awesome. Amazing lesson. Yes, Alison, you can. Yes, you can. That was so interesting. Thank you. You're welcome, Megan. Great lesson. Thanks. You get it more about the true tip of the frog. I was actually looking for inside. I was looking for inside, but ended up finding that one. So it takes us where it takes us, doesn't it? Fab, awesome. I see so many like this. Now I'm armed with so much more knowledge to help here at my place for these ponies. Can't thank you enough. Now, also, you've got to understand the reason that when we do these 15-day and 10-day challenges is because you have to know the basics. You can't move on if you don't know the basics. Once you know where the basics are, Gary was employing basic trimming there. He was employing the basic foundation of understanding the trim, looking for the hard sole plane. If you don't do those 15 and 10-day challenges and you're tackling something like this, you're blind. Not only that, we have the benefit of chopping up and cutting into hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cadaver hooves. We know where everything is. We don't need an X-ray to tell us where P3 is. We don't need an X-ray to tell us where all the bits and bobs are, right? We know by looking at the foot, the coronary band, we know all of that. What we need X-rays for is to see the health of P3. Because we need to see if P3 is in such a position or that it's that, because we can see what position it's in. We need to see if P3 has degenerated, because then we can manage the owner's expectations. We can say, well, it's a bit in the lap of the gods, I'm afraid, because this poor pony has been dealing with this for so long. And sometimes we see a kind of, the horse sort of gets better and then it goes back downhill again, because it's such a relief to just be not in that upright position, even when you've got degeneration, that just coming off that position is a relief. But then, of course, the reality kicks in, the fact that that horse has lost its digit. And with it, blood vessels, proper, the papillae, the laminae, all of those things. It's shocking. And that it's all down to man. That was neglect. Although it did look like it had a little bit of a trim. That was man. That's man's fault. Putting an animal in a position where it can't wear its feet, so it has to be like that. Or alternatively, man's fault where they're deliberately causing more problems. The thing that upsets Gary and I is that you could get a foot like that, and this is what happens in the Phoenix group, and they don't trim them properly, so they just perpetuate more damage. Take off toes, didn't take the heels down enough, all of those sorts of things. But when you've got compacted feet, it's not easy. It's not easy. Learning so much. Thank you, Anne. Great lesson, says Meta. Neatness is what killed my... Oh, yeah, I see. I have pictures, and Gary had pictures sent to us every day. Can you look at this, please? Can you tell me about this trim? Is my trimmer taking off too much? Invariably, the answer is... Your explanation of surface area is eye-opening. I am so sorry, Karen. So on a live horse pony, how do you assess where the true tip of the frog is if the frog is overgrown? And do you trim that back to the true tip? You don't have to take off all of the frog to get down to the true tip, but the horse will find that itself. So if you've got an over, because it's only going to happen on an overgrown foot, right? So you come down and you trim down to the hard sole plane, and of course the frog is going in, isn't it? It's concavity, so it's going in. It's not going to be, well, depending on what you've got in front of you, if you've got compaction, etc. But it's going in slightly. So then the horse will go away, do a lot of walking, and then it will peel off what it doesn't need. And then you get to see the true tip of the frog. It's important to know where the true tip of the frog is when you have a very elongated, crazy looking foot that had gone up this way, but they can do all sorts of crazy things. And then it's important to know because it guides you as to where the lamellar wedge starts. So it's important to know the true tip of the frog when we're dealing with P3 rotation and penetration, because what often happens is these horses come out of shoes or incorrect trimming, and you don't know where the wedge is. And we need to know where the true tip of the frog is so that we know where P3 is, because any minute now, P3, that whole area in front of P3 is just going to let itself go, and you'll get a bloody great hole. It's what happens. And then you go, well, where's the lamellar wedge? You've got to be able to read the foot so you know where these landmarks are. So it's in situations like that, I'm finding the true tip of the frog. But in a normal foot that's just overgrown, it's not necessary to dig down to find the true tip of the frog. The horse will find it. Thanks again. Emily, hello, Emily. Thank you for sharing. So interesting to see the effect of the trim from the inside. It's so much more supportive with its wide base, creating a much better healing environment all around. Embrace the ugly foot. He can't help that he's got an ugly foot, he or she. Doesn't matter. He's got a big foot to walk on now that he can. He's got all that surface area, and that'll just grow out. 15-day challenge coming up for me. Good girl. That's the way to do it. Is there any other markers to look for when taking down a compacted heel aside from the HSP? Coronary band, collateral grooves. But again, you need to have chopped up lots of feet like this in order to have a total grasp on that. But what you're after is you're after, and of course, if you haven't got an X-ray, it gets trickier, right? It's always going against you. If you haven't got the trim skills, you haven't got the basic knowledge, that goes against you. If you haven't, so you haven't trimmed very much, you haven't certainly trimmed something like that, so that goes against you. If you don't really know where the hard sole plane is, that's going against you. You don't really know where the coronary band is, that's going against you. You haven't got an X-ray, that's going, it piles up, right? So you're picking up a foot, looking at it. We pick up a foot and get in. You pick up a foot and go, oh, I don't know. I don't quite know where I'm going to go. That's why we've got these challenges to take you through it so that you can see it. It's important. And it's not just that. If the owner of that pony had done a 15-day and 10-day challenge, pony wouldn't have ended up like that, because they'd have known about diet, they'd have known about management. That pony would have been looked after properly. So yeah, we're doing this for you guys. Loving this. X-rays. Who came up with the idea that the horse needed to land heel first, and why?
I think I have a theory, because of the human naked eye. The human naked eye, when you actually watch the horse, because they actually bring the foot through and the toe actually comes up, the front of the foot comes up, and as it comes down, it actually looks like they are coming down heel first. But if it's balanced properly and trimmed to Mother Nature's constants, they land flat. It's you have to have slow motion video.
You do.
Slow motion video. And most cameras on your phones will do that now.
Now, but they didn't 20 years
they
ago.
Didn't then.
15 years ago.
It's relatively new software that's been freely available to everybody that's got a modern phone. I think that's where the main thing came from. It was all about heel first landing. And my other theory is because people anthropomorphize too much. It's about human, and we have in our feet, see if I can be a contortionist, 26 bones in there.
Look at this
striped socks. Like my socks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
And my red trousers.
Yes.
26 bones in there. Guess what the horse is walking on?
2.5.
2.5.
And also, if the foot is not trimmed correctly, and the heels are, and let's face it, how many people really trim to Mother Nature's constants? They don't, because they've been taught about the HPA,
yeah,
and wise part of frog and all those things that are not constant. If you aren't trimming to the constants, you leave the heels a little bit too long, it's going to hit the ground first.
Yeah.
So actually, they do land heel first. A lot of horses, they do incorrectly. They're not meant to be landing heel first, but they do. So
they've been made to land heel first because man has got in the way again.
But it's still perpetuated. Oh my goodness. There are people that have written books about it, that are doing workshops as we speak, telling people about it, going on, because that's what they've said for years. They're not going to change their tune, are they? Because if they change their tune, they got to admit that they were wrong. We did. We admitted we were wrong way back. I used to teach, Therese. I used to teach. I remember it all those years ago, years and years ago, before 2010, when I was teaching. I would say, and the horse walks around with his heel, and I'd walk around the room with my heel going down first, going boom, 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 boom. And all the time in my little brain going tick, 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 I'd be going, God, I hope you're right, Lindsay. Because you're teaching these people. God, I hope you're right. And then gradually, as time wore on and I worked it out, it didn't take me too long to work it out. I was like, you're numpty. You're a numpty. So I just put my hand up and went, got that one wrong. Oops. And why did I get it wrong? Because I was following the textbooks, following what everybody told me. And then I had my slow-mo camera. I'm like, come on then. Let's trim to the hard sole plane. Let's trim to Mother Nature's constants. Let's see those feet touching the ground. Oops, that's another flat landing. Oops, that's another flat landing. Then I knew more about navicular. Then I knew more about the DDFT and the insertion point. And then I read a bit about Rooney. And then I read other people who were thinking of the same. And now I was like, oh yeah, they've been getting it wrong. How long does it take for a frog to recover after being hacked? Well, 6 weeks. pretty much. It's getting there in 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks, then you come to have your next trim, it's taken off again. So you're in this perpetual cycle. That's why so many horses are sore. There's various reasons why they can be sore, but that's one of them, and that's a big one. Wonderful live, but I'll take Louvre. Thank you so much. Thank you as always, Jenny. Thank you. The challenges learning should be central in all pony club, etc. teaching. It's just so fundamental for all horse owners. It absolutely is. And you know something?
It's the only way to advocate for your horse.
We push them.
If you haven't got that foundation of knowledge, you're stabbing in the dark.
You are.
You're stabbing in the dark.
You've got a bit.
That's why we've created. Yes, you can pick up loads of stuff from all of our lives that we do, but it's not consolidated into a way that you can logically understand it fully.
It's a pathway.
It is. It is.
It's a logical pathway through that jungle.
It is.
We've been ahead of you, taking the jungle down. We're your guides, and you're behind us, and we're going, come on, let's go. Let's get through the jungle. We'll be the one who gets eaten by whatever's in front. You're okay. You're behind us. We'll lead you down the path. We've been down. We've trodden it down. Boom, bitty, boom, bitty, boom. We've trodden the path in front of you. We've found it all out. All you have to do now is come behind and follow and go, oh, bloody hell, they're right.
My goodness. Yes, that's right.
Good explanation, Gary. Humans should not really land heel first either.
No, you're right. We shouldn't.
Gary, you did that while sitting on your yoga ball. No, he's not.
No.
That would have been funny, though.
I think I might have fallen off, and all I would have needed is one of the dogs to think, what the bloody hell's he doing, and give me a nudge, and I'd be in a heap on the floor. I'm all alone at the mothership's house at the moment in the UK.
Mothership's still here in France.
Yes.
I tried with Pony Club once. They will bring in a farrier, but not a barefoot trimmer. Oh, it's changing though. But it's coming. It's coming with you guys learning more. And that's another reason to do the challenges, because you will come out going, whoa, I know so much now. I knew bits. And now Lindsay and Gary have put it all back together, and now I feel so much more confident. We aren't encouraged to be curious by schooling anymore, sadly. Good teachers are crushed by the curriculum and testing. Oh, tell me about it. That's one of the reasons that me and teaching kind of went. I remember standing in the headmaster's office. I hadn't been naughty. I was a teacher at the time, and I was telling him that I was handing him my notice, and he was like, we don't want you to go. What can I do to make you stay? We need you. We need teachers like you. Kids love you. You know, you have great science lessons. I love coming and sitting in your science lessons. They're such good fun. How can we make you stay? What can I offer you? Literally, what can I offer you to make you stay? You know, I see a bright future for you, Lindsay, in the teaching world. And what would that future have been, right? I would have gone on. I was already a deputy head of year, so I would have gone on and gone probably down the pastoral side. I would have ended up probably in the management team quite quickly. But that would have taken me away from the kids and doing the thing that I love. And that's this. This is what I love. I love teaching, as you well know, because it can't shut up. Hello, Sue. Good to see you, Susan. About to attend Midwest Horse Fair, the largest horse expo in the North Central USA. Sure wish I had that T-shirt. Oh, I need to send you one because you went through the original. I'm going to send you one. Don't think it will get there. When is it? This weekend? I'll get you one, Sue. That was a good hint. You just dropped that one. I definitely will send you a shirt. And Susan is changing so much for her laminitic ponies too. Susan will share Susan's story one day. I'm sure she won't mind. But many teachers don't like to be challenged. No, I was incidentally, guys. Somebody PM'd me last night who gate crashed our webinar on Sunday and started called me a bully again. You're a bully. I see you attack people. You're a bully. And I'm like, oh, wow. And I just went, bye, block. Go away. Stop mansplaining to me. Present company accepted.
Thank you.
Just so awesome. 3 of us are going to do 15 days and one was a Strasser trimmer, trained that way, was a heap of knowledge already. She's dead keen to learn more on here. How cool. We have just taken on I think I said this before, we've just taken on a lovely lady from Denmark, and she is going to be starting the pro course. 2 years she's got to do this pro course. She starts in July and she's already a qualified trimmer of a different flavor, but doesn't feel she has enough knowledge. So she's coming on our course. Why? Because she saw the videos and went, oh my God, you're answering so many questions that I've had for so long. You are an amazing teacher. Well, I like to have fun because I think you learn better when we have a bit of fun. A bit of fun, bit of serious, bit of fun, bit of serious. I can get a bit too serious sometimes. I can catch myself getting a bit too down the. So I stop myself.
It's good to have a good rant.
I do have to have a good rant now and again. I'm attending Horse Expo on Friday and will be representing with the Hoof Hero Tea. Yes, Catherine. You have to try and search each other out.
You have to search out for Susan. Search for Catherine.
Do you have a PDF that I can print out to share with people? I don't know. I have to have a think about that. The lives are amazing, but so much more followable after 15 and 10-day challenges. Once you've been in there, and we do the dissection demo, and we talk all about that, and we talk about why there's stuff there, and anatomy. Look at those bones. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm tired. I need to go for something to eat, and we've just not stopped talking, and it is 20 to 11 our time.
20 to 10 my time.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick the oven on.
I'm tired. I'm so knackered.
But it's been good.
Fun and
we never know where these are going to take us. You went looking for pictures just to sort of talk about a true point of the frog, and had a lesson in how to effectively trim by following Mother Nature's constants of very overgrown, neglected hoof. Yeah. Awesome.
And I just want to say thank you for saying those kind things about me and the kind things you say about Gary too, because I was told only last week by a lovely person who said to me, who deals with a lot of people that get a lot of stress, because sometimes I have to de-stress too, because both of us have issues because we are so overloaded with stuff. And she said to me, you know, Lindsay, what you have to do, because we get so a bit PTSD over it all. She said, one of the things you have to do is fill yourself up on the good things. Fill yourself up on the nice things. Accept the nice things. And we don't, do we? We go, oh, don't say that. No.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't be so silly. We're fine.
Thank you. I want to fill myself up, because if you fill me up, and Gary with those stuff, fill up our tanks. When it starts to come back down again, I know you guys are going to be there for us to fill us up again. Because we might be there hacking our way through the jungle, but if we didn't have you behind us, I think we might turn around and run back the other way. Okay, then. Thanks so much, guys. I will. I'm going to go and eat first.
I got to go eat first.
Bye. Thank you. We only say the truth and give credit. Thank you so much. Rub in and accept the compliments. That is what I was taught by my counsellor decades ago. It's hard, isn't it? But thank you. I am going to accept them. Thank you so much. All right, my lovelies. What day is it? Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. I'll see you tomorrow. God knows where that will take us. Who knows? See you then. Bye. Bye-bye.